I still remember the moment it happened. The moment my own wife humiliated me in my own home. The house was full of people, friends, neighbors, co-workers. Everyone was laughing, glasses clinking, music playing softly. And then the front door opened. Lisa walked in, but she wasn't alone. She had a man with her. She smiled like everything was normal, like this was just another casual night. She placed her hand on his arm, looked straight at me, and said something that froze the whole room. "Everyone, this is Jake." She paused. "He's just a friend from work." She laughed lightly after saying it. A few people looked at each other, because the way she stood next to him, it didn't look like friendship. And somehow, I was the only person she expected to believe that. Our house sat on a quiet street outside the city. White walls, tall windows, a long wooden porch across the front. It was the kind of house people slowed down to look at. Inside, the living room was warm, soft yellow lights, music playing low, wine glasses moving from hand to hand. Everyone looked comfortable. Everyone except me. I stood near the kitchen counter, watching Lisa and the man she called her friend. Jake. He was tall, confident, the kind of man who smiled easily, too easily. Lisa walked him over to me. "Jake, this is my husband." He reached out his hand. His grip was firm. His eyes stayed on mine a little longer than normal. "Nice to finally meet you," he said. Finally. That word stuck in my head. I forced a small smile. "Nice to meet you too." Lisa squeezed his shoulder playfully. "Oh, Jake talks about you sometimes." But when she said that, she wasn't looking at me. She was looking at him. And people noticed. You could feel it in the room. That quiet tension. Like everyone sensed something, but nobody wanted to say it. The truth is, this wasn't the first strange moment. For months, Lisa had been different. Late nights at work. More time on her phone. Less eye contact. Little things. Small changes most people might ignore. But when you live with someone for years, you notice everything. Still, I never accuse her. Not once. I believe in patience. And I believe the truth finds its way out. Sometimes, all you have to do is wait. The first time I heard Jake's name was about 3 months earlier. Lisa was in the kitchen, texting, smiling at her phone. I asked casually, "Something funny?" She quickly locked the screen. "Oh, just Jake from work," she said. "He's hilarious." That was it. Just Jake. But after that, his name started appearing everywhere. Jake said this. Jake recommended that restaurant. Jake thinks this movie is great. Small things, but constant, like a slow drip of water. Eventually, you start wondering where the leak is. A few weeks later, she mentioned something else. "Jake might come by sometime," she said during dinner. I looked up. "Why?" "Oh, just to hang out," she said. "He's new in town." I nodded slowly. "Sure." She seemed surprised I didn't argue. But again, patience. Back in the living room that night, I watched them move through the crowd. They laughed together, whispered things to each other. At one point, she touched his arm again. A small gesture, but not small enough. My neighbor Mark noticed it too. He leaned closer to me. "Hey man, that guy knew?" he asked quietly. "Yeah," I said. "Friend from work." Mark raised one eyebrow, but he didn't say anything else. Good neighbors know when to stay quiet. Across the room, someone else was watching. My sister Emma. Emma has always been good at reading people. She notices everything. The way Lisa stood too close to Jake. The way Jake kept glancing at me. Eventually, Emma walked over. She handed me a glass of water. "You okay?" she asked softly. "I'm fine." She looked across the room, then back at me. "You sure about that?" I took a slow breath. "I'm observing," I said. Emma tilted her head slightly. "You already know something, don't you?" I didn't answer, but she understood. Later that evening, Jake walked over to me again. He grabbed a drink from the table. "So," he said, "Lisa tells me you work in finance." "That's right. That must keep you busy." "It does." He nodded slowly. Then he said something interesting. "Well, at least she has good company at work." He smiled, but his eyes weren't smiling. I studied his face for a moment, and I said quietly, "I'm glad she has friends." Jake held my gaze, just for a second. Then he walked away. Emma leaned closer to me again. "That guy's weird," she whispered. "Maybe," I said. "Or maybe he's nervous." Emma looked across the room. "She's the one who looks nervous." And she was right. Lisa kept glancing at me, like she was waiting for something. Maybe anger, maybe reaction, maybe scene. But I gave her none of those things. Because sometimes silence is stronger than shouting. What nobody in that room knew was that I had already seen something. Not everything, but enough. 2 weeks earlier, Lisa had left her laptop open. I wasn't snooping. I was looking for a document we share. Taxes. But when the screen lit up, a message appeared. From Jake. Just one sentence. Last night meant everything to me. No explanation. No context. Just that sentence. And suddenly, everything made sense. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I started paying attention. Quietly. Patiently. And what I found was more than enough. The party continued. People laughed. Music played. Glasses refilled. But beneath all of it, something heavier was building. Lisa finally walked over to me. "Are you having fun?" she asked. Her voice sounded forced. "I am," I said calmly. She glanced toward the hallway. Then she said something strange. "Oh, by the way, Jake might stay a little longer tonight." I nodded. "That's fine." She looked surprised. "Really?" "Of course," I said. "This is his first time here. We should make him feel welcome." She stared at my face, trying to read something, but there was nothing there. Just calm. Around 9 o'clock, I tapped a spoon against a glass. The room slowly grew quiet. Everyone turned toward me. I smiled politely. "Before everyone leaves, I wanted to show something." Lisa frowned. "What is it?" "Just a small presentation," I said. Emma slowly crossed her arms. She knew that tone. The lights dimmed. The projector turned on. A screen lowered from the ceiling. The first image appeared. A photo. Lisa and Jake, sitting together at a restaurant. Very close. Too close. A quiet murmur moved through the room. Lisa's face turned pale. "Where did you get that?" she whispered. I didn't answer. Another image appeared. Lisa and Jake walking through a hotel lobby. Then another. And another. Dates. Times. Messages. Nothing dramatic. Just facts. Just truth. Jake stepped forward quickly. "This is ridiculous," he said. But his voice was shaky. I finally spoke. "Is it?" The room was completely silent now. Lisa looked at me. You followed me?" "No," I said gently. "I simply paid attention." Then the final slide appeared. A document. Clear and official. Lisa leaned forward. "What is that?" I folded my hands calmly. "It's a legal notice. A separation agreement." Gasps filled the room. Lisa stared at the screen. "You already did this?" "Yes." My voice stayed calm. No yelling. No revenge. Just clarity. I looked around the room. At friends. Neighbors. People who had come for a normal evening. "I believe in respect," I said quietly. "Not control. Not anger. Just respect." Then I looked at Lisa. When respect disappears, the relationship is already gone. Tears filled her eyes. But I continued. I gave this marriage patience. Time. Trust. But trust only works when both people protect it. Jake tried to say something again, but nobody was listening to him now. The truth was already clear, and truth doesn't need noise. It only needs light. I turned off the projector. The lights came back on. The room felt different now. Quieter, more honest. I picked up my glass of water, took a slow sip. Then I said the last thing I needed to say. Never underestimate someone who stays calm. Because calm people see everything. Later that night, the house was quiet again. The guests were gone. Emma stood near the door. "You okay?" she asked. I looked around the living room, the empty chairs, the silent walls, and strangely, I felt peaceful. "Yes," I said. "I think I finally am." Life teaches us many lessons. One of the most important is this. Respect is not something you demand. It's something people choose to give. And when they stop giving it, the strongest thing you can do is walk away with dignity. If this story resonated with you, let me know where you're watching from. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.